we'll continue the same topic. Right. So nowadays, what happens? I told you this is a little old strategy. Around COVID, before this was there was a IDS separate, non-IDS separate. But nowadays, SAP made a change. They are not giving the IDS product separately, IDS client separate. So we have to. That's the reason the server which is provided to us is not complete IDS. It's also a how they are managing, we don't know, but it's a kind of live server only. That's why they are giving the okay. See here, if you log in, I am getting 113. This is a kind of live client only they are giving. But you forget about this 770. This is not a client, first of all. SAP logon, this logon pad is also have a versions 740, 750. This is there. Okay, so that's why like you don't worry about that. Okay, that is login related. Next, we have to go back to the where we are. Yes, this is your like under instances. These are all the clients. So, what is the master client? Master client or golden client is used by functional consultants. mm, Functional consultants for configuration. That is, so we can call it as configuration client also, right? Then next, this is it is used by ABAP consultants, okay, ABAP consultants for development, okay. And the next, testing. Testing is a client. It is used by both ABAP and functional consultants, okay, in the development box. So this all the three in. We are mostly in the development box only. In DEV only you come across this. Again, see, actually the client, company to company it differs. Somebody says 110, 210, 310. Somebody says that 100, 150, 200. These numbers and all, it's not our choice. Everything decided by basis consult. I am giving a generic scenario where you will find this. Okay, sometimes actually they don't segregate separately also. Only they will keep only two clients in the development box. That is only 100 and 200 they will keep it. 100 is meant for configuration development, 200 for testing. That's it. Okay, this is another model. Okay, if you go to the like yes, one thing. This is your development. Okay, in DEV, you are going inside as this is your 100 client. Okay, this is your 200 clients. Okay, this is your 300 client. Let's take right. So yes, this is where our client dependency comes into picture. So what is client dependency? 200 and 300 support. So now 300 client. So this is your configuration client. So while configuration, we do create some configuration data, but this configuration data is available in 100 client. But if you want to do some kind of testing, this is missing in the 300. That's why what we will do the SCC1. SCC1 is the T code through we will get the this data into this. While configuration, some data is captured under this client because this data is client dependent data, whatever you create it. Client dependent. Whatever you create, that is there in the 100 only. That is not there in 200 and 300. That's why we have to get that. I think, is this the T code is right? SCC1 is right or not? Confirm me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
SCC1. So SCC1 is called as client copy. What is the meaning of client copy is actually we are not copying any client. We are copying the data from one client to another client, source client to target client. This because we'll give that TR through TR under whatever you created, that things are captured into this data. That is functional point. So you have to know the technical why we do this, what happens. So with the SCC1, whatever the you created here, the data comes to here so that you can test it. But there is a question to the ABAP, that is your customization request and all. We have to use it. But ABAPer's point of view, let us talk. ABAPer create a program support. Let's take a development activity program. In program is a repository object, actually, technically speaking. That repository objects are client independent. That is the difference. So program no need to move explicitly to the 300. You create the repository object in one client that is automatically available in all clients, but all clients within the box again. Okay, within the box again. So repository objects are client independent. Yes, that is the difference. All the repository objects are client independent objects. So that means it is available by default in all clients. But what is the limitation? Within the box or within the instance. But what next? Your functional configuration. So the configuration data is always client dependent. Okay, client dependent. So we have to explicitly move to test client, testing client using SCC1 T code. This is what. Right. Going back to the this is what the clarity of master data. Gold is just like a gold have a lot of importance. This is very important client. Okay, because configuration is high priority. Development comes later. Okay, first to client is, that's why. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Right. Then if we move to the further instances, in further instances what we do, go to the this one, quality and production boxes, which this one is used in quality QAS. Okay, of course we will move the data here. Which client is there, we are not bothered. It could be 100 or 300 also. Yes, but in the production, mostly we'll use 900 series, 900, 901, like that, because user series is different. Our series sequence of client numbers are different. Okay, that depends again how the basis consultants are configured. But we are moving the objects. Okay, objects also, and as well as configuration data also from this box to this box, like that. Okay, so this is about your overall client concept with respect to ABAP and the basis point of view, right? So there is a one more question comes here. Because in the development, like development is happening in one client, test is happening in another client. If you want to test something, uh, because you may ask this question, 200 200 client doesn't have test data. That's why we have to log in 300 for testing purpose. Even I created one G program. That program we want to test it. I have to log. See, development is happening in one client, testing is happening in another client. But only the difference is we don't move the program from client to client because this is by default available here because program is a repository object and it is client independent. Okay, by default. Next, only the master data only moved it. They configure here and test here. Okay, this is what the difference. Next, there is a one more client called as, I'm writing it as a fourth. What is that client? Sandbox client. Sandbox client. Okay, it is generally it is used for which purpose? Of course, it might be installed, it might not be also. Okay, it is it is used for R&D purpose. That is research and develop kind of trial and error. That means if you want to do type of any kind of research or any kind of explore you want to do some type, okay, then you are not confident enough to directly work on these things. First, go to Sandbox. Sandbox can be used. Okay, it's not only for, it can be used for uh, learning purpose also or training purpose also sometimes. Okay, yes. Right. But there is a, you may ask this question, sandbox, does sandbox have a data? Yes, we will ask basis people to create sandbox and kind of data also they will replicate so that we can do some type of things. So first you create a program, you test it with the available data, whether everything working, your R&D completed, then only come to the real client and develop something. Okay, this is the way sandbox can be used, but it is a optional client. It is not mandatory client. It is optional client. Okay, next. Surely this is not a sandbox objects. It's very important. Sandbox, sandbox data you created or objects you created in sandbox cannot be moved to further instances or next instances or next boxes or follow on instances. This is important. Of course, sandbox is also there in the dev box, but this is not a sandbox client is not a part of our route. Already I told you what is the standard route. SAP recommends dev to quality, quality to production. In dev also, developed objects clients only, we will move it like this. This is, these objects are only saved in the local objects through. Okay, all this data, all these objects are acting like local objects only, local to the development only. It cannot be moved to the quality or production. This is overall important information for you guys for the live project point of view. Okay. Yes, this is your ABAP explanation with respect to client. Basis explanation also completed. Now we are moving to the functional explanation point of functional concentrate point of view. What is a client? So actually, client represents customer. Client equals to customer with respect to functional point of view. Okay. Yes, because all configurations happens under client only. Okay, so of course, it is not a organization unit. It is, I am calling it as high level, okay, org unit or element, okay, in the configuration, mm, configuration layer. Yes, because under which client you configured is the question. Very, very important. That's why, see, I said, first of all, we don't talk system because if you go to that, your configuration is happening under this hierarchy wise. If you see, your configuration is under system, the instance, and the instance under client. Under client, you are configuring. So your configuration is there within the client, within the instance, within that system. This top down, bottom up approach, you have to know that. This is very, very okay, important. Suppose I already told you, so client, under client only, we go with company is optional always. Under company, we will create company code. Company code generally created by the function FI consultants one time. So company code creation is the initial activity under SPRO IMG tool through. They will. Yes, after that only all other consultants start their configurations. So in the entire SAP, FI consultants are main key role, key consultants, because all configurations begins, of course, client under, but actually in fact, we always go with company code under. Okay, but company code is also part of the client. So under company code, already I said go with this sales organization, distribution channel, division. This is your, what is it? SD configuration. And if you take the same example, client, company, then company code, next what? Then purchase organization. Yes, already I discussed this few days back. Under purchase organization, plant, under plant, storage, locations. Right. What they do as a part of configuration? They will create this all organized elements. They will create as per the live business point of view. All sales organizations and the distribution divisions, all they will first go for define activity. After define, then they will go for assign activity. All divisions are assigned to the distribution channel. The bottom up approach, distribution channel, the sales are to company code. This way they will do it. Suppose if you go to the this one, client, company, company code, yes, company code, we have yes, HR point of view, personal area, personal sub area, that employee, employee group, actually employee group, employee subgroup, then employee. This is, there are different levels of, okay, this subgroup, then employee. This is your SAP HR, HCM point of view. Kind of, they do this type of configuration. Okay. Yes. Then what is yours? No, FICO, because majorly we are talking on, mm, you have to, yes, first we'll go with company code, right? And the company code, what will create? Uh, Yes, you have to tell me. Under company code, what you will create? Credit control area is optional. Finally, I guess GL account comes finally. Okay. Yes, you can unmute and talk. This is your, I forgot this, your fake information. Chart of accounts, COM. Chart of accounts.
Plus double zero.
Chart of accounts. Then next,
Account groups.
account groups. Next, this credit control area is optional. If CEO is implemented, then only we go for, I guess, for my knowledge, right? This,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. This is what, and finally GL account,
Yeah.
right? Okay. This way, okay. So you know this configuration because this is long back. So thank you. Yes. So now, if you go to this is your different modules wise configuration. Similarly, we go to the what we have PP module, PS module, CS module, all other modules. Most up to company code is common. You if you notice here also, remaining modules to module the configurations differs. Okay, so these SDMM and all 5 6 months course separately. This is a separate. We don't go much. Okay, because fine. Like hope you guys understand the flow of ABAP basis functional of client concept is much more clear with this. Because why I explained this in a broad view. This is actually, in fact, it is an interview question. Can you explain client concept in SAP? So you can explain this way, or else which client you worked in previous project. This is interview question again. So you cannot tell these clients. You have to tell this client only. So you have to know the difference between what exactly the development client and testing client, all those stuff. Okay, but here in the training, we don't have this classification. For me, 113 client is given, that client only act like all. There itself, we do development and it's also act like testing everything. We do it, but the live project differs this way. Okay, right. And moreover, ABAP's point of view, you have to know the difference. Client dependent. Going forward, I will give you the complete clarity of client dependent and independent objects. Then next we'll move to the next level is what? User. Because as per hierarchy, we have to go to what next? This is your, we are here, user. Okay. Who is a user? So users are created under, users are created under client. You cannot create directly under instance of the system. Okay. So now under one client, we can create many users. Correct? Many users can be created. But I told you consultants also act like users. So users are again differs from box to box. Users must be created in every box. Suppose uh, we want to go for dev and quality and production. Yes, they have to create. So users are created by again basis consultants. One time create. Okay. I told you this in the project. So the while project beginning, they will create the 50 consultants first. Then Before go live, the 500 users, they will create it. That's the difference. Right. Next, each user, we are going little ahead with each user unique profile and authorizations. That's why actually unique role. This is the ROLE role, role to profile, profile to role and profile under authorizations comes into picture. This all these things. So actually under basis there is a separate topic of user management. Under that all this concept comes into what is a role, what is a profile, and what are the authorizations. Then next here, if you look at okay, consultant, ABAP consultant have limited authorizations, only development can do. We cannot do configuration, other things, vice versa, other consultants also. Right. Now, what next? If you go to the users, each user have some default data also. Okay, default data is nothing but the time zones, logon language, all those user specific logon language, all those stuff. Okay, I will give all those user specific data also, etc. So on. Okay, user to user it differs also, and moreover, basically the password is unique. Password is differs from user to user. Okay, all those like details. This is your users hierarchy. Okay, right. Next, under user, what next? We come across password. Okay, is password is created by basis consultants. Consultants initially. Next, we can reset password and set our own our reset password. You generally welcome at the rate 123 palm and generate password they will give. We can reset. But password again, SAP supporting password 240 characters. This is okay. The star everything, which can be alphanumeric alphabets, but with the numeric with the special symbols are also allowed. Okay, yes. This is special symbols are used. And just like at the rate, we can. So what next? As a legal policy, password should not be shared to the others. It is one to one. Complete confidential data is password. So you cannot um, because with these credentials only one user, one password through user can access it. But there is a multi-logon procedure is there. Generally it is not permitted. In the training servers we can do that way, but in the live it is not allowed. Right. And I told you there is a one concept called as SSO. SSO is what? Single sign-on concept. So because to avoid this entering username password every time, the companies are implementing SSO concept. So what happens only one time your username and credentials are just captured. Next time onwards, even in some clients I worked like this, we will just double click on the SAP GUI, even it does not ask me to enter the this one also. Okay, directly it will take you to that. But there is a DEV quality production. In DEV, it's one time we saved all those credentials. This way, SSO login also will work. It will ask, you want to log in with SSO? Yes, you can proceed for further this way. Okay, so that's about overall concept. Okay, next, almost if you go to the this one, uh, with the another type of explanation, this is the final explanation to you. This is your, assume that we have, this is a R3 system, because I am go on repeating the same topic in multiple dimensions, but each dimension gives unique understanding. That's what our understanding also differs from daily. Yes, dev, quality, and production. So yes, server is ready. Development server is ready. It's already active. Just start the, yes. Now you want to connect to the development box. So you are from, this is your workstation where you have, yes, under workstation, what you have, SAP GUI you have. Using this SAP GUI, yes, this is your laptop or desk. So you want to connect. How do you connect? Yes, this is, the server is there by default, a remote server. Now we will connect by this way. So your connectivity to this happens based on 4 credentials. What are the credentials? Here we are entering this one. So first, again coming to the same one, client. Okay, client number we are entering here. Client number, the provided client number. Then after that, we are giving username. Username something like ABAP 4 or ABAP 12, some name given. Then password. Yes. So password. Like in the training server, they are giving ABAP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. They maintain some unique. Okay, but in a live project, which username is given to you? And so, like, first, generally your name will be given to that, directly your name. Okay, yes, your name through only you can log in. Password through, we'll enter some password. Then finally we'll go with language. These four considered as a, yes, this is called as a login credentials. We call it. So login credentials. Okay. So now every time you have to use this for set up. Now just observe it. This is your GUI login to development box. Similarly, quality. This is the approach we do follow. Okay. Hope I explained. Now you are clear with uh, how you are going to achieve it. See, you are creating something, that is, this particular program is there, even though you created in 113 also, that is available in the entire box, because It's only, but it is to be moved to the quality and production explicitly because that is missing in the other boxes also. That's why we do transport. Transport done by the basis, moving object from one box to another box. Okay. Similarly, the configuration data also. So this is all about your login procedure, login data, right? Hope I explained everything completely. Okay, then actually I am not going to the SCP this thing. We will go back to the previous topic only. I have because I forgot actually to revise one slide because first we will go with the basic only. Yes, yesterday's topic. And need to go for this thing. Because rather than introducing new concept, first we will make the conceptual clear. So I'm revising through slideshow. Slide. This time, these slides are combination of two sets. Some slides are my own, some certification slides, some SAP standard help library through I captured and prepared this. So this is uh, 17 slides are there. That 15 minutes I'll try to revise it quickly. But just observe it. So your first topic was SAP architecture, isn't it? Architecture I introduced in a architecture before I started client server structure or client server technology. Based on that only our entire R3 architecture was built. See client server, which is connected. Client is connected to server by using LAN cable or WAN, local area network or wide area network. Nowadays, it can be connected through via internet also. The client, this is the boxes. You can see the graphical picture. Server is a big size because why it is big size? It should serve to the connected clients. So client request, this is the software dimension. Client always requests server. So it is a request and respond mechanism. Correct? Request could be to save data, update data, delete data, or to fetch data. So this is what the happens in a live manner. Clear? Hardware, software dimension. Go to next. This is your next slide where, so because I already explained all the concepts, but revision through anything is missing, I want to cover. And you will also get much more clear picture here. So presentation, application, database, 3 layer, 3 tier architecture. If you look at here, in presentations, 4 desktop systems are given. Desktops means where GUI is installed, presentation server or SAP front-end or SAP logon pad is installed where users can sit and access it. Each terminal, each thing is connected with application. This other color arrow you can see here. Then this is 2 GUIs are connected to one application, 2 GUIs are connected to another application. So 2 application servers are there. But if you look at here, this is here the monitor symbol is given here. Presentation is, it is monitor through user can see, user can view, user can display the things, user can interact with the monitor. Key in, key out, graphical device, mouse or keyboard through, we can enter the data. That is the interaction zone, interaction area. Okay. And the data comes to application. Application is a CPU, cabinet symbol is given here. Because in olden days, desktop systems we used to use monitor separate and this CPU separate. CPU, smart CPU also. Long size or more compact CPU. Okay, central processing unit. Okay, we call it as hardware point. Because it is actually the process happens here. That's why the cabinet symbol is given here. Okay, coming to the database. This is large size server symbol is given here. Yes, because which is used for the data storage. And you can see here RDB means Relational Database Management System. All the data is closely integrated, I said. Data is managed with Relational Database Management System. What are these three uh, cylindrical symbols? Because in the server, you can find three database layer. You will find three database servers are also there. One is small size, second is medium size, third one is large size. What are these symbols meaning? By this time you are clear, because this is actually the development instance related data stored here. That's why less data. Quality is more data. Production is much more data. That's why three boxes are three instances. Okay, you have to understand this picture in this way. Hope I explained all the slide. Now you are very much clear. Move on to the next. You can see the logical dimension, logical view of SAP architecture. SAP, okay, here you can see the user 1, user 2, he and she. They are using the old systems, desktop systems. R3 user sits at the presentation level. That means they are not aware of the application and the database things. They are only entering some data, they are expecting the response. That's it. What is happening back end? For them, it is a black box. So black box and white box is a terms used in testing actually. Black box testing is a kind of they don't know anything what is happening in the back end. White box means when generally white box testing done by the developers. Developers they know the code, they know what is happening. This is going to store it every level. They know end to end transparent. That is called as white box testing. Okay, like that. So user is connected with kind of application server. But this is again I said this hmm, entire application layer in Unicode point of view, we can call it as kernel or basis services. It provides the application server layer provides two types of services. What is the development service? Runtime execution service. Development can be done by ABAP development workbench tools. On the right side, you have runtime environment by using application server 1234N. Okay? Yes, this way. Clear? Go to the bottom, DBMS and database. This is the bidirectional arrow in, arrow out. Okay, it's not unidirectional. That means writing to the database, reading from the database. That's what the meaning of it. Okay, clear? You are clear with this everything. Next, good. This is a logical view only, because architecture can be viewed in multi-dimension. Logical view, and software view, then user-oriented view. This is the three dimensions you have to understand. Logical view looks like this. We will go next level to software-oriented view. View means a kind of dimension. Software dimension through, if you look at, this is 4 users are added. He, she, 4 users. 4 users, each one-on-one terminals are given. User login to SAP via presentation SAP GUI. That is your presentation tier or presentation layer. It is connected with application tier, application layer. In software dimension, if you look at what is missing, they missed the ABAP workbench is missing. In previous, logically speaking, workbench. Software dimension, workbench is missing. Only the application server 1234N, application layer. So I said yesterday, message server, message service internal communication between application server. This is so 3 tiers, 3 layer. That is your software dimension. Over next user dimension, user point of view. This is the system one, system. That is, we have SAP system one, SAP system two. What is SAP system? If you call it as in one SAP system, you will find one DB server, many application servers, but many presentations. That is called as overall system. Go to other system, 1 DB, many applications, many presentations. Okay. So if you go to one user point, user logged in by providing the credentials. Okay, I said user means consultants or users login procedure is same. Only they go with their respective usernames and passwords. In once you log in, you can open maximum how many sessions? How many sessions? 6 sessions, I said. For login, 6 sessions. Okay, this is what you have to understand. One user, one time login, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 section. What is a session? Session is nothing but an independent window. Okay, independent window where you can do independent activity. In one session, I am creating a table. Under one session, I am creating a program. In another session, I am going to create function module. In another session, I am going to create a global class. So 6 sessions, 6 independent activity we can do. Even configurations point of view also, you can open parallelly 6 sessions and 6 independent activities can be involved. This is your users dimension. Even users also they do 6 T codes through, they can do 6 independent activities. But actually by default setting is 6, but it is 6 can be extended to some 10 also, 12 also. We can increase the number also, number of sessions per login. That is one setting at basis level we'll do, but generally we don't touch that. That is a SAP by default recommends to go for 6 only maximum. We will keep in the training server or in the working server, live server also tomorrow. We'll go with 6 only maximum. Okay, this is user dimension. Go to next. Application server. Application server is this. User 1, user 2, GUI login. So you are familiar with presentation and database, no change. Only the middle layer is only changed. What is there in the middle layer? Under one application server, you will find one dispatcher queue. Dispatcher queue is not mentioned here. So you have to observe dispatcher through you can connect to the gateway. But one gateway server is there. One gateway means one application server gateway through you can go for external connection purpose, you can use it. Gateway is for gate. Generally we have company main gate, next gate, next gate. Gate by gate you have to cross to enter into your bay. Bay is nothing but the working area, your workstation. That is called as a bay also. So you have to cross multiple gates. Similarly, the gateway is configured to connect to the external servers. It could be other SAP system or other non-SAP system. Gateway through gateway service, gateway server or service through will configure one time to establish send data, receive data. Gateway configurations are important. That comes under RFC configuration. RFC uses this gateway. RFC stands for remote function call. That is uses this gateway configuration. Gateway is connected with the dispatcher. Next, coming to the dispatcher to the other side. Dispatcher assigns tasks to the work process 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The number of work processes, how many dialog, how many update, how many NQ and background and spool. The number also differs from configuration to configurations. But in all installations. These are all the 5 is, at least one is required. So work process is connected with context area, user context area. Because I said before carrying out the task, it checks user is authorized or not. Authorized, then carry out the task. Unauthorized, go show the error message to the user. Then what about shared memory? Shared memory is a common place. It's a kind of memory area. All work processes uses common memory called a shared memory. That is, all user contexts are using this shared memory is rule area, context area, buffers, everything is there in the shared memory only. That is application server detail. Move on to next slide. Sorry. Next. So this is presentation layer. This is application layer. This is database layer or level or tier. You can call it as anything. So here we are talking on ABAP Stack. ABAP Stack or ABAP Engine or ABAP runtime. In ABAP runtime, at application level, you will find each application level, you will find one local buffer. Buffer is a part of shared memory. Buffer stores temporary data. Buffer's data is volatile, that we will discuss buffer concepts separately. Then this dispatcher is assigning task to the dialog, enqueue, update, background, spool work process. Two dialogues are there because in mostly we will keep dialogues are more, updates are more in any concept. You can see this bidirectional arrow, double-headed arrow. Meaning is what? Presentation connect to application bidirectional, application to the database is bidirectional activity. Read write, input output activities. This is all of your ABAP stack discussion. Okay, work process through this connectivity. Work process inside database interface connectivity. Then you see the flow. Flow how does? Presentation to application by LAN cable. Dispatcher maintains request in a queue. Dispatcher assign task to the work process. Work process also have inside internal memory. So screen processor, ABAP processor, database interface, task handling. Yes, this already explained. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 multiple work processes. Now the DB interface to bidirectional arrow to the database. That is, if work process which component talks to the database means DB interface through only we can interact with physical underlying database. You can read it to the database, read write operations on the database done by the database interface. Next, go to the shared memory. Shared memory is also having buffers. Buffers and user context area, role area. Users are all users roles and files and authorizations are maintained under user context. Role area, role in, role out. Role in, assign task, assign memory, allocate memory, roll out, deallocate memory. This already explained, but this is another type of certification slide which gives just clarity to you. What the process, this is already there. Explain. Next, screen and ABAP processor. Because screen processor is responsible to go for screen is a collection of modules. Under modules, we will write the flow logic editor code, separate code. That flow logic code is executed by screen processor or screen interpreter. And ABAP processor code is executed by, ABAP editor code is executed by ABAP processor because I said in ABAP we come across two type of editors. Flow logic editor different, ABAP editor is different. Next, move on to the DB interface. DB interface does two things. It converts OpenSQL to native SQL and also this. So here two OpenSQL versus native SQL also explained. OpenSQL result is loaded in buffer. OpenSQL is database independent, I said. Mostly commonly used this. Okay, ABAP specific SQL. Native. Native means directly it hit the database, no conversions, no buffer management. That is called as native SQL. Okay, right. Next, types of workbooks. Many dialog, many update, many background, at least one NQ, one spool. Okay, this is your work processes. Next, yes, this is actually I have not introduced this. I will discuss this because what exactly this application server. Actually, I forgot to discuss on that. We will come back this net. What is NetWeaver and all. Okay, cover tomorrow. Yes. Next, if you look at no problem, SAP NetWeaver application server pointer. Here, the latest architecture wise, if you look at presentation, can be classified as GUI based or HTML based. That means Windows based through you can log in SAP GUI or SAP GUI supported with HTML or browser. So browser through also we can work with SAP. The BSP and WebDN Pro applications, there is a HTTPS. Then one URL get generated, URL through you can access SAP. That is your NetWeaver, NetWeaver Developer Studio. Through you log in into SAP. Like this. This is your presentation. Go to the application level, you will find Java Stack, ABAP Stack, Java Runtime, Java Engine, J2 Engine, both Java, two dual stack installations are there. So you can see the color difference. Okay, yes. So if you go to the Java Stack, yes, this is the installation. ABAP Stack, this is the installation at a DB level. Okay, yes. Now, this latest, this one supports what? Multi-level, multi-layer architecture, reliable, trusted environment, multi-user scalability, multi-user it supports multiple operating system database independent and database independent and operating system independent. SAP designed like that. It runs on SAP runs on any DB, any OS, any environment, any protocols it supports. The browser through HTTP RFC protocol it will support. Highly safe and secured environment. Okay, implemented with security standards. Then next, yes, if you look at this slide, this is your one tier personal laptop, two tier mainframe environment. Two tier means only presentation, application, and database is combined. Three tier, three presentations, three applications, and one database. It is three tier. Multi-tier. Multi-tier is nothing but browser, internet application server, and next many applications, many data. So there is no change in the application database. Only the presentation only GUI placed by browser. Now application layer come. This is your multi-tier environment. Go to next. That's about your last slide of this. So tomorrow we will go back to the this part, this topic. What is that ECC and what is NetWeaver? How does this middle layer application layer enhanced? Also, we will discuss. This was actually I missed out. We will discuss this so that you will get complete clarity. Which application runs on what. Okay, right. That's all. Because SAP point of view, ECC system separate, CRM, SRM systems are separate. Okay, thank you. Please, thank you, Kumar.